Sandra, it's so nice to meet you. What an icon. So many things to talk about. Of course, I want to talk about Severance. I want to talk about Drag Race, all of the things. But let's talk about your tour that's coming up in April. I'm so excited. You're going to be in and around New York. And I think about what's going on in the world right now. And I think a little more of Sandra Bernhard is what we need. So, what is this show going to be like? Because I'm super excited.
Well, it's a show that I premiered in December at Joe's Pub,
Yep.
and the main pieces are kind of woven around different people in the public eye that I've sort of known, maybe wanted to know. And they're these kind of like wonderful little monologues that lead in and out of songs that I've been excited about covering. And then, of course, there's commentary about what's going on in our country and the world. But I never like to hit people over the head with that because they're getting, a deluge every day
Right.
of stupidity, of the ignorance, of the shocking disregard for democracy and just the social safety nets that were put in place for people who are on the margins. So it's all shocking, it's all horrible. But at the same time, I want to entertain people and lift them out of it. So there's a little, there's a nice, I think, balance of the two. Certainly not ignoring what's going on, but hitting that hard and then jumping off to other places. And also when I perform here in New York City, this time at the Cafe Carlyle, that will be a different kind of show. That's called The Best of Sandra Bernhard. And that's really a more musical show. It's like hit songs that I've always wanted to cover with a little bit of chit chat and commentary, but more musical sort of heavy than the other shows.
What's the song that you're so excited or you love doing for these cover hits? Because Cafe Carlisle is so epic. That's going to be so fun.
Well, I'll just tip my hand on one because I never like to give songs away, but I've always wanted to do the Lionel Richie song Hello.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's a really great classic, beautiful love song. And it seems like a lot of the themes of the songs I'm doing are about love, are about heartbreak. But I think those songs are fun and inspiring in their own strange, cliche way. But I always like to think I bring something unique to my versions of covers. And if I don't, then I won't do them. So
Right.
I'm
Oh my gosh, I
excited
just
for
had a
that.
flashback of you doing Midnight Train to Georgia on Will and Grace. Speaking of covers, that's still
Right.
so good. I do think people want to go to a show to be entertained, but like you said, it's still bringing bits and awareness to what's happening. When I think about your advocacy and support for the community and beyond for so many years, what's the key to kind of just including it, but not like you said, hitting people over the head with it?
It's the kind of tool that you sharpen when you've been performing for as long as I have. And you just know instinctively how much to put your foot on the accelerator and when to back off, when to
Right.
slow it down. It's not something you can really explain. I think it's instinct. It's kind of at this point in my DNA as a performer, knowing exactly how to finesse different ways into conversations.
Well, tickets are available in April. I'm so excited. You're going to be in and around Pride Month, which I love. So many dates there. Let's talk about Severance. I mean, so I haven't that the show came back, we waited so long for season two because of so many different situations. And then
Right.
it came back. Everyone's obsessed, can't get enough of it. And we were so lucky to get to see you in such a gritty, interesting, scary, role. But
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it. What was it like for you to kind of just get to jump in and into the series that, like I said, people have been wanting for so long?
It's funny when you do certain things. I mean, we shot it a year ago, and when you're in it, when you're on the set, when you're working, you don't really think about it. You just you immerse yourself in whatever that scene and that world is that they want you to bring your thing to. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a part of this iconic show. I was like really excited, but more important to me was that I brought something different and unique to the role, which is why they wanted me to do it to begin with. And I really feel like that it came off, and I'm very excited about that.
So good. And I mean, like I said, I feel like 2025 is already one of your busiest years. You are guest starring in Survival of the Thickest season two, which I have not seen yet because it just came out last week. A GLAAD board member Peppermint is also in this show, of course, along
Right.
with Michelle Buteau.
Yes.
Super excited for this. What were you excited to kind of get into again, season two for this?
Well, I worked with Michelle on this little film called Babes, where I had a small part, and that's where I met her. And I was like, oh, you're fabulous. I didn't really know that much about her. And then I sort of immersed myself in her world. And then she reached out for me to do this role. And it's another kind of perfect, iconic role for me that I'm super excited about. Glamorous and fun. And I just love her. I love her advocacy for the LGBT plus community, of course, for her own community and just the crossover. She's just groovy and fabulous and fearless. Somebody who I think is very in line with my whole take on comedy and also body awareness and being like totally comfortable with who she is. And that to me is worth its weight in gold.
For sure. She's a gem. And you mentioned fabulous and fun. I want to go back to Drag Race. Loved you on this season earlier, guest judging. I think more than ever, it's crazy. Drag is under attack. People are trying to weaponize drag queens. Drag queens obviously are fun, they are iconic, they deserve all the things. What was it like for you to not only have fun by judging, but also to kind of continue to show support for that community?
It's interesting in my one woman film Without You I'm Nothing that was shot in 1990, all of the background singers in that movie were trans drag people and women. It was just done very just like as if they were just who they were. You know what I mean? We didn't talk about it. So I've been in that world really since the 70s when I first came to LA and I was very involved with the drag world, and it's always been second nature to me to be in that community. The really outrageous, fun, extreme talents that are just have been out there, and of course people like Lady Bunny and Lip Synca, and they've always just been able to just say whatever they want to say in drag. And I think that drag is such an important way of really like disseminating just the unsophisticated aspects of our society. What I like the best about drag is the fierceness and the confidence. Sometimes when it's like behind the scenes and everybody's sort of like falling apart. I
Mhm.
mean, that's not what I've experienced from that world. It's sort of like I'm fabulous and nothing's going to stop me. So it's interesting. It's interesting where drag has gone, but certainly everybody loves drag. I'm sure like Housewife out in the red states
Yeah.
love it more than anybody because it's outrageous and fun and uplifting. So I think this whole absurd sort of like use of like trying to like destroy that community through anti-drag is just so like just dumb. It's just dumb.
You've been such an outspoken advocate. You've been through so many different points in our country. What advice do you have for any LGBTQ person out there today that might be feeling sad, under attack, all of the things that anyone could feel very normally with what's going on?
Well, I think the important thing to remember is that we have come so far. And in terms of politically, what people use as a cudgel is just it's just theater. And the people that are advocates, allies, we're all still here. We're all still nobody's moved. I mean, we're entrenched in rights for everybody. And I think that it's just you have to know that everything is cyclical and we'll move out of this and get back to a more comfortable place in our society. But right now it's a cheap shot and you've got to like separate yourself from it, just get in the trenches, fight for everybody's rights who are on the margins, abortion rights, Black rights, Palestinian rights, Jewish rights. Everybody can do a lot and not feel victimized. I think that's the most important thing.
That's good words of wisdom. I appreciate that. Last thing before I let you go, we talked about TV, Drag Race and Severance. We talked about your live show coming all over. And also later this year, back on the big screen, Marty Supreme with Gwyneth and Timothy Chalamet. This project is getting a lot of buzz. I don't know how much you can share because I know it's early, but what was exciting for you, I guess, about this project?
Josh Safdie, who directed it, is just such a funny, kind of loose cannon kind of guy, but he really has a vision. And I'd met with him on another project that didn't pan out. So when he called me to do this, I was like, of course I want to do it. I play Fran Drescher's neighbor and good friend, and Fran plays Marty Supreme's mother, overbearing Jewish mother. So we sort of, collude together to get him to come home. in this one scene, and it's really funny. I don't know how they'll edit it. I don't. It's a phone call between me and Timothy Chalamet. I don't know how they'll edit it, but I would imagine the camera will be on me a lot because why would you bother bringing in somebody like me if you're not going to like use me in the right way?
Right. That's right.
Fun. It was crazy. I got to know Fran Drescher, who I never really worked with before, and she was amazing to hang out with for a very intense night of shooting. It was freezing, snowing, sleeting outside. It was like evocative. It was one of those nights of shooting that was just memorable. And I think it's going to be a fabulous movie. I mean, I didn't really see the whole script. A lot of movies and TV shows, they only give you your scenes. Which I think is smart because they don't want people out there blabbing, and I think
Yeah,
that we want to leave a little element of surprise.
for sure. Well, that sounds great. I can't wait to see that. And just a reminder, before then, everyone, you can get your tickets for Shapes and Forms, Sandra's tour. I'm so excited. We'll be New York, all around, and also I know going to Chicago, like I said, April through June. It's going to be a great show. And Sandra,
I'll go
always,
Minneapolis,
yeah.
Milwaukee, and then in July I'll be in P-Town and around dates in Massachusetts. I'm doing a lot of gigs. You can go to sandrabernhard.com. You can follow me on Instagram and get all of your up-to-date news and listen to Sandyland every Thursday on Sirius XM on Radio Andy.
That's right. We love Andy. We love Radio Andy. I love that. It's such a pleasure to get to chat with you. Thank you so much for the time.
Same here.
And
Thank you, honey.
yeah, and we'll see you soon.
Great. Look forward to it.